Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and tonight I'm just camping out here on that 250 acres of land, which I may be caretaking in the future. We'll see how that goes. But I thought I'd come out here tonight and just kind of get a feel for how it feels to be out here overnight and, have wake up in the morning and do my morning routine, kind of meditation in the sunlight. And yeah, so far so good. It's a pretty beautiful place, as you can see. It's about to be sunset in a couple of minutes, and I've got my tent set up right there. And back behind my tent, you can see I've got the solar electric bike, and I'm also charging my cell phone, just hanging it from the back, since the sun's basically horizontal across, I can just lay it vertically like that. And then I'm in the process of unpacking my stuff and getting ready to wind down and go to bed. So I normally don't really drink or eat when it's getting close to bedtime, but this felt like kind of a special occasion, so I'm going to cook up some hot chocolate before I go to bed using the water that I hauled in on my bike and this little camp stove and pot, which is super light and is filled with sticks and twigs. And I just had this mix. Is this the mix? Yeah, this is a mix of, well, I call it the Wizard's Brew. It's a bunch of different things, but it's mostly chocolate and chocolate. This is coconut oil, so that's what I'm having. It really is a comfort food, and it also feels good to know that everything that's in it's actually good for you. So that is one of my favorite things in life. And here I am. It's about to get dark. I'll be retiring back into the tent in a little bit. And I'm thinking about the choice between kind of caretaking this land, growing a garden here, starting a community, and kind of the alternative, which is basically kind of being nomadic and always moving around, staying in a place maybe for a few months at a time sometimes, but generally, moving. And that would look like me going back to my friend's permaculture farm for, a certain period of time, and it would probably involve moving around various farms or other, people's places who, support what I'm doing or who would like some help from me, come help them with something. And already in that community over there, there's multiple people who want me to come help them with something, and I was just there a couple of weeks. So that was cool. Definitely had a good vibe, a good sense of community, and that's what feels like it's missing if I'm here. I'll be kind of stuck here because I'm tending a garden, and that's kind of a year-round, everyday focus. And, the community in this place is decent, but it's not like the community in the other place. The community in the other place is like, oh my gosh, I found my true family or my true friends. My whole life I called other people, my family and friends, and I was totally confused because that's not what family and friend is. And finally, 39, met some people. It's pretty cool. And it's kind of sad to think that I would be over here and be so far away. We're not that far away from each other. It's probably a 2 days drive on the solar electric bike. It's a couple hour drive here and there if they were to come pick me up or something. So we are close enough, but it's enough of a hurdle that probably would only see each other a couple times a year if I'm over here, and that would be, I don't know, it kind of seems sad. So, anyways, that's enough. I don't know, rambling, talking about feelings and stuff for tonight. I'll probably sit out here for a little while till it gets a little darker. But this is probably it for filming tonight, and tomorrow I'll wake up and film a little bit more.
Good morning. It's probably around 7 a.m. The sun rises a little later here because the east there's the big mesa which kind of blocks the sun at lower levels. And the moon was super bright last night. It was like daytime, like at midnight. So I had to I have a buff. You can just pull these down over your eyes. These are really nice. Keep your neck warm. Can also be used as a beanie if you pull them up high. But they can also use to keep things dark when you're trying to sleep. So I'm just going to get up and see how the weather is and see if I can actually do a meditation in the sun this morning.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a chilly morning. And there's where the sun will be coming up in a few minutes. Well, there she is in almost her full glory. There are some clouds, light clouds in the way, but you know what, for a novice sun gazer, it's actually a nice thing because you get to kind of actually look directly at the sun without feeling like it's too much for you, because it really is something that you have to work into very slowly actually over time, just looking at it for seconds a day and then adding a few seconds a day until you're up to something like 45 minutes. And I'm very, very far down on that, but it's very clear to me that looking at the sun in the morning when it's in a safe place, low on the horizon, is extremely beneficial for a lot of reasons. Just from my own personal experience, it gives me this kind of light, high energy feeling and kind of a purity to it. And yeah, I guess that's the main thing. I feel more in tune with what's like in my relationship is something which exists kind of between earth and sun. I'm on the earth, I am affected by her magnetism and other vibrational aspects, and I'm also then most affected by the sun. And I'm exposed to both of those, not just in my body, but also through my nervous system and like through the actual eyes, like directly into the brain. So, and there is scientific research about the benefits of getting sunlight into the eyes and how it affects various neuronal circuits and things. So it's not just all what Cahlen feels and stuff. There's some legitimacy to what I'm saying. And of course, they say you can damage your eyes, and they believe it's the UV. You can damage your skin if you stay in the sun too long. Basically how everything works. Like, more energy is good, but more energy too quickly is bad. So that's basically the principle they're describing, which is true of all things. So yeah, you could hurt your eyes if you're looking at it at noon. But also, I think Jesse Boudreau, he was telling me that there were some like American soldiers who were tortured by some foreign country and forced to look at the sun all day, and they were fine. So I don't know if that's true though. You know, I think you probably did some damage to their eyes in that case. So, anyways, let's see. Like when you wake up, you know, it's fairly early in the morning, and and you think, what do I have to do today? And you're having trouble thinking of things. I find that's a good place to be in. Most of my life I woke up and it's like, okay, I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go to school. I gotta go to work. You know, like my whole life. That's not a way to live. I mean, if you're really gonna be like that, like, it should only be the case if you're like really struggling to make it out in a world like kind of like a post-apocalyptic or pre-civilization world where you gotta kind of hustle to make sure you're surviving. But even in those worlds, or at least the earlier time world, hustling wasn't really that necessary. You know, they didn't work all day. So anyways, it's a good place to be. It does take some getting used to because, you know, you're so used to supposing to have something to do. And I do have something to do today. I have to go look at someone's hot tub, and even though I think that'll be fun, just having that one thing that I got to do today is like, oh, I don't want that. I mean, making videos is kind of something that I tell myself I need to always do today. But you know, I look forward to it. It's kind of the fun thing to do, so it doesn't feel like something I got to do. It feels like something I want to do. And of course, on a day where there's nothing you got to do, there's plenty of things you want to do, and you just kind of go with the flow. You know, your body and your emotionalness and all that type of stuff, they'll kind of dictate, you know, where you're going to flow. Just have things available to you. You have some books, have access to the internet, have some work that you can do, like making a garden. Again, not something that you have to do, so that you can flow between these different things, and as the feeling arises. That's the way to live, man. Anyways, I think that's pretty good for this video. So I hope it was a cool video. See you later. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll share it with someone that you care about. It helps them, it helps me, and it'll help you feel like a healthy type of person. If you're feeling extra generous, you can head on over to cahlen.org/gift, and there you can basically learn of ways to help me feed myself, shelter myself, and to upgrade and repair my gear. All donations give you the option of having a 1-hour life coaching call with me. So, thanks again for watching.